Hello, my name is Miss Beach, and this is my show and tell. This lesson is intended for a second grade class, and you will see why. Alright, the name of this lesson is Make Change. Students will be able to count coins effectively to dollars or coin amounts given real-world examples of purchasing items. Given a website and an amount, students will be able to calculate the amount of coins needed and provide the correct amount to their peers in order to purchase an item. Learning outcomes. This lesson focuses on the standard 2N42. Use a combination of coins to represent a given amount of money up to $1, but this lesson actually extends past that. It goes into $2 or $3 ranges. For this lesson, second graders will be able to count coins to the nearest dollar with 80% accuracy. And this lesson encourages students to be empowered learners by recognizing how technology is being used as a way to review key concepts without relying on technology to teach students those concepts. So basically, I'm using technology to show students that they can use it in a way that helps them and empowers them rather than relying on a website to teach them those concepts. The how, what, and the why. This website used is linked below. It is a simple website that provides you with an item and it gives you an amount, and you are given dollars and coins, and you are expected to give the amount needed to purchase an item. This strategy explores simulation, real world, and build from restricted components, and I will tell you why. This strategy explores simulation because students are put into pairs. They will be instructed to have someone be the quote-unquote cashier, while another person is the customer. The cashier will use the website, and the consumer will use the fake coins, either provided from paper or from plastic, to the cashier in order to give them the correct amount. It focuses on real world because everyone's using money. Second graders may not be using money as much as adults, but even though cash is dying out, it is technically still around. So I think it's important for students to know how to use coins and dollars effectively when purchasing items. And the strategy also explores build from restricted components, given the fact that sometime throughout the lesson, students will be asked to only use nickels, only use dimes, only use quarters, or don't use pennies, don't use quarters, don't use dimes. And so this relies on students to do some critical thinking, and they have to determine, well, if I don't have a quarter, how can I get up to 25 cents, such as 2 dimes and a nickel, or 5 nickels, or 25 pennies? And is this inclusive? And honestly, I think it is. I think that the website is simple enough that students can, no matter what, they can use the website effectively. It's not a hard concept to grasp. And then, since this is such a real-world based issue, I feel it's inclusive because I feel as though every student has to know this at some point. And they aren't limited to just using the certain amount of coins correctly. They can use whatever they'd like, but when it comes to the restricted components part, they may be asked to only use certain coins. But the only way I could think of this lesson not being inclusive is a student struggles with certain math concepts, such as basic addition, but I feel as though that those issues should be addressed before this lesson comes up, or they can be addressed during this lesson with teacher guidance or with the help of their peer, since it is a collaborative project. Back it up. In an article written by David and Lokai and Weinstein-Nitta published in the European Journal of Education, researchers found that by using technology that the learner controls, as opposed to the technology controlling the learner, students found their learning to be a lot more educational and effective. The website I picked for this is definitely more of a helping hand rather than a teaching site. It helps the learner by checking their answers and not showing the answer until it is correct. It also provides randomly generated amounts in order to prevent the learner from simply making up numbers such as 25 cents, 5 cents, 1 penny. It encourages growth and adaptability. This article is great and can be read in the link provided. I will provide this in the description below. How can this project be improved? This lesson focuses on real-world currency and how it can be used effectively. This lesson can be improved by allowing for students to spend more time on this project to create fake items or even real items to sell to their peers. This could also be used in the technology field by allowing students to use a resource such as Canva to create posters for products and prices they would be selling the next day. For example, during this unit, students could be encouraged to have a little shop section at the end of the week where they will be making products to sell to their peers the week prior, and they could use a resource such as Canva to promote graphic design, to create posters detailing the prices, the products they're selling, and overall it would be a very fun collaborative project that would encourage simulation and real-world problems and collaboration among students. The resources used for this project would be students will use fake money created by hand, either from the student or the teacher, following the template provided below. Students will also use this website for the short-term lesson, and the website is linked below. And then the website that I found this template is also linked right there. All of these will be in the description of this YouTube video. There are also resources one could use, such as buying the plastic coins from Amazon or such, but I found that using a paper template such as this and allowing for students to cut it out by hand encourages fine motor skills, while also being less costly on the teacher by just using a simple paper worksheet. And that is my show and tell, and thank you so much.